How do you win going second? First, make sure to take these specific territories in Australia, Africa, South America, Europe, and North America. Second, place your capital in the middle of the map where it has access to both North America and Australia ideally. And I like to place my capital on the Middle East most of the time. Third, split your troops accordingly by placing some troops on your capital most of the time on the Middle East, and then having a couple of troops in Australia or on the border to Australia in Siam. Fourth, your main objective in winning this going second is by capturing Australia and being able to hold it for one turn. If you're able to hold on to Australia for one turn, then you will be able to make up for the disadvantage of going second. At this point, the blue player needs to win a 9 against 7 to invade me. Of course, he gets lucky to invade me. Fifthly, if your opponent is able to break into Australia, make sure that you break into South America instead of going for Australia, because it's better to invade your opponents into their continents rather than trying to hold on to your continents and trying to capture your own continents, because if you instead try to capture a continent while allowing your opponent to hold on to their own continent, then they will have enough troops to simply break through and very easily invade you into your continent. So at this point in the game, as you can see, I decided to invade blue into South America, and I also decided to try to capture Australia. Now at this point, blue made the mistake of trying to blitz my capital, even though he didn't have 100% chance of winning, and he ended up losing. Even though he had more than 50% chance to win, that was a mistake. Even though he was lucky to have a set at 3, he shouldn't have gone for the capital attack, because it wasn't 100%. So I was able to beat a top 500 grandmaster going second on classic capitals, even though they decided to place their capital on North Africa, which is the best place to go when you're going first. On to the second game of my examples on how to beat North Africa strategy going second on classic capitals. I played against a master known as Stop Tryharding, which is kind of ironic because I do grinding a lot to get rank points, and in my next video I'm going to show how I got a 170 game win streak to get top 11 in the world. And by the time of the video, I hope to become top 10, because nobody cares about top 11, top 10 is better. Anyways, back to the gameplay. In this game, I'm going second. Like I said, using the Middle East strategy, I was able to capture Australia, and now I'm able to come back by having more territories and getting more troops holding onto Australia and my capital, which allows me to break through into his continent and potentially break through into South America later on in the game. However, at this point, while he's able to hold on to South America, I'm able to hold on to Australia, which means that I'm basically getting the same number of troops as him, and we have relatively equal chances of winning this. So I decided to make sure that I got 100% chance to invade him into South America and then try to capture North America, but I got unlucky because I wasn't able to win the 2 against 1, which is only 41%. But it would have been nice if I had captured it, because that would force him to invade me into North America. Of course, the blue player has a set at 3, but he made a mistake by not putting all of his troops to capture territory. Instead, he placed some troops to fortify on his capital, which means that he wasn't able to capture North America. Instead of placing some troops to defend his capital, he could have used them to take territory and then, like I said, capture North America, and then he could fortify back to his capital. So it wasn't necessary for him to waste his troops inefficiently and place it on his capital. I was fortunate to have a set at 3, which allowed me to capture Australia. However, I was unfortunate in that I lost the 3 against 1. However, I was fortunate because I won 8 against 5, losing only 1 troop. which was why I was able to capture Australia in the first place. So my luck is kind of balancing out by getting lucky on the 8 against 5 and losing only one troop, which allowed me to capture Australia, and getting unlucky on the 3 against 1 to invade South America. At this point in the game, the blue player smartly decided to capture both South America and Australia. At this point, I decided to invade Australia, but not only did I decide to invade Australia, I also chose to try to capture Asia by splitting off a 4 and then losing the 3 against 1, because 3 against 1 is 78%, and there's always a chance that you lose a blitz roll or manual attack if it's not exactly 100%. Even if it's 99.9999999% chance, there's always a chance of losing. So in order to become a better risk player, you need to take 0 risks. That's what I learned, and that's what helped me become a better player. That will also help you become a better player. You need to stop taking unnecessary risks. You need to play it safe and only take risks when it's absolutely necessary. I can't stress the absolute importance of the 100% rule, is what I like to call it. You need to take absolutely 0 risks in the game of Risk, because you can end up losing. And if you want to get a 100% win streak, an actual 100% win streak, a 170 game win streak, or even bigger, like a 300 game win streak like the #1 player in the world got, then you need to play your best. You need to not take risks, and basically, if you play it safe and only attack a capital if it's a 100% chance, only attack a big blitz roll if it's a 100% chance, then your win rate will go up a lot. As you can see, the blue player decided to do a 34 against 13, which was not 100%, even though he had a very, 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 very good chance of winning it. He didn't win it because it's not 100%. And not only that, even if he had won it, he would have lost a lot. And not only that, he would have also not been able to invade me into North America, because his army in North Africa was blocked from North America. On to the final game in this video. I'm playing against a beginner. So in this video, I've played against a top 500 player, a master, and an intermediate. So now we're going to end things off with a beginner going first this time. I decided to place 12 in North Africa, 5 in South America, 5 in Australia. So I was able to go for both Australia and South America. And I have a really good defense of North Africa, so if he wants to blitz my capital, then it's going to be very risky, and the chances of that working are very low, and even if he tries doing it, he's going to lose a lot of troops on his capital. At this point, he is completely blocked with his capital on Ukraine. My capital on North Africa is blocking him from South America, and his territory on Iceland is preventing him from invading me into North America. So basically, my capital is perfectly situated to block him from South America. Not only that, but I'm also holding on to Australia because I decided to split off some troops there in the beginning of the game in the manual selection. So I was able to capture both Australia and South America, making it impossible for him to invade both, especially since his capital on Ukraine was blocked. So now I can go for the very easy victory against his capital.